यशोदानंदन जय व्रज जनरंजन यमुनातिरवनचारि जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Subhadra, Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Subhadra, Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Subhadra, Subhadra, Jagannath Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Jagannath Swami, Nayana Patagami, Patagami, Jaya Radha, 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 Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Rama, Radha Rama, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Jaya Gauranta, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya. Prabhupada ki jai. So, Hare Krishna, devotees, welcome to ISKCON Seshadripuram Zoom Srimad Bhagavatam session. So, today we'll be discussing 72nd to 77th of fourth canto of 8th chapter. Shloka. So, very shortly we'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udirayo. Nashtavrayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistigi. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chaksharam Militamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Tapidamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Savanandikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagadana Gunata Tapsivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Parasavanadita Sivishakatam हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राजा कांत नमस्ते सप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषिवानु सुतिदेवी प्रणमामि पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री हरि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna. So we start the discussion. I am projecting the shlokas first. I'll recite the shlokas. Hare Krishna. Okay, so this is a 72nd shloka of 8th chapter of 4th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Triratran, Triratre, Triratrin, Kapittavadharashana, Atmarutyanasarena, Masam Ninnecharihandharim. Word to word translation by Srila Prabhupada. Three. Ratra ante at the end of night. Three. Ratra ante at the end of night. Kapitta badara, fruits and berries. Asana, eating. Atmarutti, just to preserve the body. Anusarena, as it was necessary minimum. Masam, 1 month. Ninne, passed away. Archayan, worshipping. Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation by Silpa. For the first month, Dhruva Maharaj ate only fruits and berries on every third day, only to keep his body and soul together. And in this way, he progressed in his worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Kapitta is the flower which is known in Indian vernacular as Kayata. We do not find an English equivalent for the same of this flower, but its fruits is generally not accepted by human beings. It is eaten by monkeys in the forest. Dhruva Maharaj, however, accepted such fruits not for luxurious feasting, but just to keep his body and soul together. The body needs food, but devotee should not accept foodstuff to satisfy the tongue in sense gratification. It is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita that one should accept as much food as necessary to keep the body fit, but one should not eat for luxury. Dhruva Maharaj is an acharya, and by undergoing severe austerities and penances, he teaches us how one should execute devotional service. One must carefully know the process of Dhruva Maharaj's service. How severely fast His days will be shown in the later verses. One should always remember that to become a bona fide devotee of Lord is not an easy task, but in this age, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, it has been made very easy. But if we do not follow even the liberal instructions of Lord Chaitanya, how can we expect to discharge our regular duties in devotional service? It is not possible in this age to follow Dhruva Maharaj in his austerity, but the principles must be followed. We should not disregard the regulative principles given by our spiritual master, or they make it easier for the conditions. As far as our ISKCON movement is concerned, we simply ask that one observe the four prohibitive regulative principles, chant 16 rounds, and instead of indulging in luxurious eating the tongue, simply accept prasada offered to the Lord. This does not mean that our fasting, the Lord should also fast. The Lord should be given foodstuff, which is as nice as possible, but we should not make it a point to satisfy our own tongue. As far as possible, we should accept simple foodstuff just to keep the body and soul together to execute devotional service. It is our duty to remember always that in comparison to Dhruva Maharaj, we are insignificant. We cannot do anything like that Dhruva Maharaj did for self-realization because we are absolutely incompetent to execute such service. But by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we have given all the concessions possible for this. So at least we should always remember that neglect of our prescribed individuals will not make us successful in the mission we have undertaken. It is our duty to follow the footsteps of Dhruva Maharaj, for he was very determined. We should also be determined to finish our duties in executing devotional service in this life. We should not wait for another life to finish our job. सेवेंटी-थर्ड श्लोका द्वितीयं च तथा मासं षष्ठे षष्ठे अर्भको दिने तृणपर्णादिभिः शीर्णो कुत्तान्न अभ्यर्चयन् विभुम्. Dvityam, the next month. Cha also, Tatha, as mentioned above. Masam, month. Shashte, every sixth day. Arbaka, the innocent by. Dine, on days. Trunaparna Adibi, by the grass and leaves. Sirnahi, which were dry. Kruta Anna, made for this food. Abhyacharan. Abhyarchayan, and thus continued of his method of worship. Vibhum, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation: in the second month, Dhruva Maharaj ate only every 6 days, and for his eatables he took dry grass and leaves. Thus he continued his worship. There are one line slokas, means there is no purport given by Prabhupada. So they have told me to cover more slokas, but the overall content is 74 sloka. Tutiyam chanen masam navame hani abhyaksha uttama shlokam anupad vatsatam samadhina. Tutiyam, the third one. Cha also anayan asin. Masam, 1 month. Navame on each night. Ahami on the day. Apabhaksha, drinking water only. Uttama Shlokam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is worshipped by selected verses. Upadhavat, worshipped. Samadhina, in translation. In the third month, he drank water only every 9 days. Thus, he remained completely in trance and worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is adored by select verses. चतुर्थमपि वै मासं द्वादशे हनि वायुभक्षुजितश्वासो ध्यायन् देवमधारयत्. Chaturtham, fourth. Api, also. Vai, in that way. Masam, the month. Dwadashe, on the 12th. Ahani, day. Vayu, air. Bhakshaha, eating. Jita, swasa, controlling the breathing process. Dhyan, meditating. Devam, the Supreme Lord. Adharayat, worshipped. Translation by Silvopar. In the fourth month, Dhruva Maharaj became a complete master of breathing exercise. And thus he inhaled air only every fifth day. In this way, he became completely fixed in his position and worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead. पंचमे मास्यानुप्राप्ते जितश्वासोऽनुपाद्मजः दायन ब्रह्ममदैकेन तस्थौ स्थाणुरिवाचलः. Panchame in the fifth, Masi in the month, Anuprapte being situated, Jitaswasa and still controlling breathing, Drupa Atmaja, the son of king, Dhyayam meditating, Brahma the supreme Supreme, Pada Ekena one leg, Tas Tastav, good stood, Statav, Statanu, just like a koala, Eva like Achala without moment. Translation. By the fifth month, Dhruva Maharaj, the son of king, has controlled his breathing process so perfectly that he was able to stand only one leg, just as Kalam stands without motion and concentrates his mind fully on the Brahma. Sarvato mana krosya rude bhutendriyashayam dayan bhagavata rupam nadrakshit kinchana param. Sarvataha in all respect, manaha mind, akrusha concentrating, rudhi in the heart, buddha indriya asayam, resting places of senses and objects of senses, dhyayan meditating, bhagavataha the supreme person of God, rupam for no adshit did not see kinchana anything, aparam else. Translation. He completely controls his senses and their objects, and in this way fix his mind without diversion to anything else upon the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead, purport by Silva. The yogic principles of meditation are clearly explained here. One has to fix one's mind upon the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead without diversion to any other objective. It is not that one can meditate or concentrate on an impersonal objective. To try to do so is simply waste of time, for it is unnecessarily troublesome, as explained in Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. So, Triratrante Kapita Badarashana Atmarutya Sarena Masam Nitin Dinacharya Hanyahanrim. For the first month, Dhruva Maharaj ate only fruits and berries on every third day, only to keep his body soul together, and in this way he progressed in this worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the second month, Dhruva Maharaj ate only 6 days. For his eatables, he took dry grass and leaves. Then he continued worship. In the third month, he drank water only every 9 days. Thus, he remained completely in trance and worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with adored by selected verses. In the fourth month, Dhruva Maharaj became a complete master of breathing exercise, and thus he inhaled air only after 12 days. In this way, he became completely fixed in his position and worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By the fifth month, Maharaj Dhruva, the son of king, has controlled his breathing so perfectly that he was able to stand on one leg, just as column stands without motion, and concentrate his mind fully on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He completely controlled the senses and their objects, and in this way he fixed his mind without diverting to anything else upon the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमदे जयपताका स्वामी नामने नमो आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरवतरमणाय रघुनाथारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमदे भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिने नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषवादी सत्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री हरि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. So many verses today, but no purport. So only one. So we'll discuss. This Dhruva Maharaj story we are discussing, and Dhruva Maharaj has to leave his kingdom because his father denied his right due to his stepmother unnecessarily adamancy that Dhruva Maharaj should be expelled or he should not be given any throne. He should not be given position. Only her son should be given position while Dhruva Maharaj can be aloof. Uh, so, and then Dhruva Maharaj was instructed by his mother, Suniti, to not to bother too much about these so-called insults and so-called, um, ups and downs of material world. And she advised, if you want permanent position, so because Dhruva Maharaj wanted permanent position, which cannot be uh, even achieved by Brahma. Brahma is a topmost soul, topmost personality in this material world. So he wanted position above him. Means he wanted position which cannot be taken away by anybody in the world, material world. So he was so determined. Being a Kshatriya, Kshatriyas are always very determined and very, they are very particular over insults and all those things because that spirit is there and that is a very good spirit actually. And that is why, and due to this good spirit, Dhruva Maharaj decided to do austerity with determination. So it's like this. We have been discussing this earlier also. Brahminical or Kshatriya spirits are basically they are like this. They don't tolerate insults or so basically in material life also we face a lot of difficulty. We tolerate insults. We face insults. We face ups and downs and material world kicks us. So we should not be like animals or lower human beings like Shudras where okay we'll continue. Let's continue material life. Animals are like this. They see their animal colleagues are okay, they're getting slaughtered in the slaughterhouse and they are standing. Prabhupada gives this example like a goat. Goat is standing outside, happily eating the green grass. And next to that goat, the other goat is getting slaughtered in front of that goat. And still they continue eating the grass as if, oh, very happy. So this is material life. This is a Maya. So we should not be like this anymore. We should be thinking, oh, why I'm getting the sufferings, why I'm getting these problems in the life, what I can do. So Dhruva Maharaj was that category, Vaishnava. And he decided, no, why I should not get permanent position? Why should be temporary? It's not all about his personal insult or personal insult by his father or his so-called mother, stepmother. It's not question of that. It is question of his own consciousness, evolved consciousness. So we should be also, what we should learn from Roman, we should also start thinking, oh, why I'm getting so many problems? Why is there any permanent solution? So anyway, so that drove Dhruva Maharaj to austerity because that time austerity was very prominent. And of course, austerity without uh, dedicating that austerity to Lord is not useful. So, as rightly advised by Suniti, his mother, he told you do austerity, but surrender to Lord and ask Lord whatever you want. Lord only can give. So she was a very perfect mother, and she gave her advice, him advice. Similarly, Narad Muni came, and Narad Muni gave actually teachings, and he systematically tested him. Oh, is it determined? Is it just out of some sentiments, or is it determined to carry out the spiritual life? He said yes, and he wanted Dhruva Maharaj wanted to do that, and then Narad Muni blessed him, and he advised him how to do it, and then he proceeded to forest. Dhruva Maharaj proceeded to forest, and this Some verses earlier, some verses and upcoming some verses are basically a description of how Dhruva Maharaj did austerity. Now, it's very stringent austerity as by the calculation of current age, modern age, or even Kali Yuga age. Kali Yuga is a big age. It spans across 4 lakh years, and current in that Kali Yuga, modern is another quest. Because we cannot do austerity. Our bodily and mental strength is very limited. You know very well. We know well. Yesterday was Ekadashi. Following Ekadashi itself is that not that easy. So, but Dhruva Maharaj is being explained here how Dhruva Maharaj did his Ekadashi. Sorry, it's I mean fasting rather, and then overall as austerity. It's not fasting that way. It's actually permanent fasting. So basically, in the first day, he kept and then ate only little bit, and then third day, first month, only fruits and berries. So there is a mention of fruits and berries. Fruits and berries. So Kapitta is one of the flower. Prabhupada mentioned in the Kayeta. I think this is available. At least in our native, this is widely available. But even Andhra also I saw. And everywhere is there. So we call it covered. So it's very hard shell. And but then inside you open it, there's a pulp and then it's very sour. And I think they make some chutney and all that. Anyway. The point here is Dhruva Maharaj ate only fruits, fruits like that, and he continued on this day, and then he continued, having very limited fruits and berries every third day. Prabhupada writes it's just to keep his body and soul together. So what Prabhupada writes in this is basically the austerity part is being stressed here. And Prabhupada writes it has been made very easy by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the current age. So overall, if you see the austerity, we should understand what is meant by austerity. So austerity basically is a voluntary action for us by individual to voluntarily little bit keep the body little bit in a discomfort, little bit discomfort to the body, but it's voluntary. And it should not be excess also, too much excess also. Dhruva Maharaj was at that powerful position, so he could do this. So he ate only fruits and flower. Then initially, later on, he ate only water for 8 days. Then later on, he only only breathed for 8 days. Once breath in a day, 8 days. And then later on, he stopped his breathing and stood on his one leg for months and days. And he completely rejected the food and water and all that. He was just, even breathing also stopped, but he was alive. Of course, because these are all austerities. It comes. We can also do. Of course, we should not try that, but anybody can do if one is determined. But of course, we don't have that power. But I'm telling theoretically, one can do. This body can sustain this sort of austerities. At least if your body is very strong mentally and physically. Of course, we don't have that bodies. Theoretically, it's possible, but so earlier yugas they used to do because they were trained right from childhood like that. And body is so beautifully made, and ultimately soul controls the body. So once soul is actually enlightened, we can do anything with body. That's what even these tapasvis or these yogis, so-called yogis, Siddhas, they try to do this. They have got so many powers. Of course, that's not a goal of our devotional service. That's why Prabhupada writes, the purpose of the doing austerity is to surrender to Lord, control the mind. First of all, control the mind, purify the intelligence, purify the body, and focus everything on Lord's devotion. That's the purpose. Because generally what happens, mind is so flickering. that it will keep disturbing. Even though we want to do devotional service, we do devotional service, we do chanting, we do, but mind will, after some time, mind will take away uh, you, take away you from the devotional service and take you somewhere, and then we get engrossed, and then some again we come back. Oh, I will do the continue chanting. So mind will take you away from the um, real goal of life. So mind is so flickery, it is not easy to control the mind. Arjuna asks Krishna, I mean, tells Krishna, mind is so difficult to control, even it's difficult to control than wind. Krishna says, yes, indeed, it is true, because that's how it is made. And we have to control that. So Lord Krishna tells, by practice austerity and by focusing your mind on me, you can control it. That's what exactly. So all sort of our yogas are focusing towards mind, controlling the mind as a primarily thing. And but ultimate aim is to surrender to Lord by controlling the mind. Because then if mind doesn't disturb, then our devotional life goes fast, slowly, properly, smoothly. So austerity, and even we should understand the philosophical aspect also. It's a, for any good thing there are do's and don'ts. So do means, suppose in Bhakti Yoga we chant, means do. We have to chant. It's chant mantra, Maha Mantra. So control the mind. So that will help you to control the mind. And that will help you to get attached to Lord Krishna. That will help you to develop that attachment, love to the Lord Krishna. It's a multi-purpose formula. For everything, chanting is a solution. That way, one way. Because you are hearing, you are listening, I mean, you are chanting, you are remembering Lord, you are surrendering to Lord, you are developing that loving relationship with Lord, you are able to control the mind, you are able to forget all your sufferings also. You are able to, do so many things with chanting. Everything is possible by chanting. That's a basic. That's why that's a very fundamental austerity. And initially it's austerity, but when the devotees really develop it, it becomes your way of life. It's like singing the Lord's name. But then that's a very Lord Chaitanya's mercy on us, that he made austerity so simple. In Kali Yuga, he said, Kalau naste, kalau naste, kalau naste, gatiranyatha. Means in Kali Yuga, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. Hare Nama is the only solution. Hare Nama is only austerity in the Kali Yuga. And Lord Chaitanya gave us this Mahamantra. And please do. There is no other way, there is no other way, no other way. So obviously chanting is our basic fundamental austerity. And of course, Prabhupada has, and even all our Vedas have given all these austerities also. In addition to that, like four regulative principles. There are very many four regulative principles. Like don't eat non-veg, don't drink wine, no intoxication, no gambling, like that, no illicit connection. So these are also austerities, because following this takes some determination. It takes some struggle to with your mind. It's all mind. It's not. We say, oh, my body is demanding this. Actually, more than body, it's the mind which demands. And actually, there is no demand. Mind have concocted, mind have been recorded, program like that. Ki, oh, you need this, you need this, you need this. So mind, and we also follow mind. Oh, I need this, I need this. My mind. So we keep following that. But actually, it's all in mind. If mind, we determine by mind. If we mind, by knowledge, we can cut this mind's whimsical requirement. Because intelligence will grow. Intelligence will control the mind. So by intelligence, we go, oh, what is there? By drinking wine, what is there in that? There's nothing there. Nothing there. It's just some chemical we drink, and it affects our nervous system, and we feel some little bit what do you call, I don't know, like that's what we can imagine, like you feel like, okay, some intoxication. So that's, so we are habituated with that. But once you control the mind, and once you understand by knowledge, by your intelligence becomes sharper. And intelligence is that there's nothing, it's all useless, waste of time and money. Eating the animal means we are actually cutting the one animal there. Whole body is being cut and so much pain and so much sufferings and dirty things. It decomposes. The whole meat decomposes immediately. And how they do and all that, you go and stand in front of slaughter. Slaughterer will come to know how animal is getting pain. And we are eating it happily. And logically, we understand laws of karma is not going to leave you. Laws of karma will inflict, because you are inflicting pain on somebody, you are going to get it back. So in this way, intoxication, this, that, gambling, it's all easy money, means it's a problem. Like that, we have to understand. Okay. And as we sharpen our intelligence by regularly reading Bhagavad Gita, chanting our rounds, then we'll understand, oh, why I should be doing the austerity. Your mind will support the austerity. Oh, this is why I should do the austerity. Why? Because, first of all, these are all useless things, all this intoxication, all that. We should leave that. That will make your body pure. Because most of the diseases is proved by medical science. Most of the diseases, mind diseases and physical diseases are related to wine and excessive meat eating, or so many things, and illicit sex. Maximum diseases are coming from very dangerous diseases are coming, uncleanliness things. So our body get purified, you feel enchanted, you feel very fresh and disease free. And if you are disease free and fresh, then your mind remains fresh. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy body, healthy mind, whatever is both way. So you feel fresh, mind also is fresh. Distraction of the mind is minimized. You see that we can experience this. If you are if you are not doing the intoxication, if you are avoiding intoxication, you feel fresh. Even tea. Sometimes we are addicted to tea. We feel without tea how we can survive. But I have most of you have left it, and we don't feel like that. In fact, I feel fresh without tea. And then you can always have some substitute. For tea, you can have herbal tea substitute. In ISKCON temple, you will have nice herbal tea and so beautiful taste, and a more healthy also, because you will have all that masala and all that, very nice, and no intoxication. So what I'm saying is austerity is required in the life, or even for material life also austerity. You cannot grow to the suppose you are in office, we are working executive, no. So we work without working hard, you cannot grow. So that's austerity, because you are doing so much work, you are doing so much, in your office, so much work you are doing. You are spending so much time, day and night, phone calls and this, that, going to office, traveling. That's austerity, because you are sacrificing your sense enjoyment in that period. Okay. And you are voluntarily troubling your body little bit. So that's what. But then the purpose of that austerity is to gain money. And that's okay, because we have to do that. I'm not saying it's not required, but we should go beyond that. We should say, oh, what is that I want to achieve? I want to achieve spiritual enlightenment, spiritual knowledge. Then there also austerity will be required. So yes, so we should do the austerity, and then we should voluntarily accept that austerity very enthusiastically. Utsahat Nishchayat Dharya. Devotional life, including austerity, has to be followed in Utsaha. Be enthusiastic, follow Dharya, have patience. On the day of fasting, you will feel, oh, my stomach is, and then, but Dharya, have patience. Then you will understand actually where it's pleasing. The austerities are pleasing at the end. It's pleasing at the end, and you will feel very joyous at the end of the austerity. Utsah, Nishchaya, determination, do it. Another thing why we should do austerity is very important, like philosophical point is, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is explaining Arjuna, you are not body, you are a spirit soul. This is our fundamental principle of Bhagavad Gita, we know that. And austerity is actually an opportunity to realize that. It's one of the method to realize that you are not body. Means, suppose you are doing fasting. So on the fasting day, uh, you will feel body will give you cravings. I want food, I want food, I want this, I want this. But you will tell, no, you are not, I'm not body, I'm soul. You will work at a soul platform. You will be chanting more. So we'll be doing a lot of austerities. So when we are doing these austerities, but and when we are understanding in parallel that I'm not body, I'm spirit soul. So austerities and this knowledge becomes very complementary. So because it's easy to say I'm not body, I'm spirit soul. Okay, that's a theory. Correct? It's a theory, and which is correct. Obviously, Lord Krishna is telling, but how to implement it in practice, how to and realize it. So when you chant, you will understand that initially your mind is drifting you away slowly or easily it drifts away, and then you will find, oh, I'm somewhere else. Again, we have to pull back the mind. Again, it will again. So there is a fight, very swift battle between mind and you during chanting. It's austerity. Why? Because you are fighting with mind. You are otherwise, if you are not doing chant, you could have done some other lighter work or listen some song here and there or do something which so-called materially appealing to us and enjoy materially. But you are doing chanting where you are going against the current, you are going against the body because body will not sitting at one place or so like that, and mind. So you are trying to control the push pull is there between mind and you, and that's to austerity because this is a time to understand, realize that I'm not my mind, and actually it's true. Because you will chanting initially, that's we are since we are all chanting, initially you feel, oh, we are very difficult. Then once you little bit get stabilized, you can easily feel mind is subsided. There are somebody who are disturbing you, now it is subsided. You can feel I am different from mind. You can feel that very easily when you are chanting. And similarly, body also. So when you are chanting and getting absorbed into chanting, at least for some time, or reading Bhagavatam, or attending some festival, doing fasting in the festival, and then singing, and you know, you will forget bodily needs for that moment because you are trying to get a higher pleasure, right? So you can understand I'm not the body. So austerity is basically, since austerity is a voluntary uh, discomfort given by accepted by us for mind and body, we can easily understand that by doing austerity we are slowly understanding that I'm not mind, I'm not body, and that habituation comes, we get programmed to that, yes, and you realize that yes, I'm not, and then that helps you to uh, do austerity better and better. And when you do austerity, mind controls become easy. When mind is controlled, it is easy to focus on Lord, easy to focus on devotional service, understand Bhagavatam, understand Bhagavad Gita fully. Because mind, otherwise, a mind which is actually uh, troubling us. Mind will drift you away from our regular sadhana bhakti or devotional service. So if mind is controlled, then things becomes easy. So austerity is required. And Prabhupada, as Prabhupada mentioned in ISKCON, we are given these four relative principles. Is that it's not only in ISKCON, it's almost in all Vaishnava Sampradayas, but specifically Prabhupada gave very systematic and very strictly. And I don't know, but definitely ISKCON will maximum of followers of these four relative principles will be in ISKCON. Probably, I may be wrong. But the point here is Prabhupada given us the formula, and Prabhupada mentions, yes, we have to follow this austerity. And it's very simple. Prabhupada, right, Lord Chaitanya has given us, made the austerity or devotional life so easy. I mean, especially devotional life, by giving just chanting the Mahamantra. That's so easy. He made it. Otherwise, Dhruva Maharaj, you see in this story, Dhruva Maharaj is doing so much severe austerities. Can we imagine of doing that? No. One day fasting is itself is a challenge for us. He's not even eating. He's not even breathing later on. Right? So that austerity is not possible. And that austerity is required to achieve the Lord's mercy. But now then, what is the hope for us? So Lord Chaitanya is merciful. That's what we should also understand. How large chapter. He made it so simple, and actually we can get same benefits. What Dhruva Maharaj got from his severe austerities, we can get same benefit by following simple devotional service, bhakti yoga. But we have to follow that precisely, very correctly, accurately, and very sincerely. Prabhupada writes, even though we cannot follow this also, then it's a problem. It is already made so simple. So that also we cannot follow means Prabhupada mentioned, then we will have difficulty because we have to have that determination. So, and which is we can understand because your simple thing also we cannot follow. And actually we struggle. I mean, at least I struggle. So definitely we struggle. So we have to keep introspecting why I'm struggling to follow austerity. Is it my knowledge? I'm not understood the knowledge. I'm not soul. I'm not spirit. You should keep harping on knowledge part also. You should keep gyan. Gyan and Vigyan, like that. You should keep getting knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. You are not body, you are soul. You are not. You have to keep harping this on your mind daily, and keep thinking on that. Keep understanding about shloka. Keep thinking why it is like that. How to realize this, and then when you actually implement it practically, let's say Vigyan, then you will understand. Oh, it's really so, and then that memories will be there. Ki, last time I did fasting, and it was so wonderful experience. Next day, and on the fasting day also, I could focus a little bit more on chanting and all that, and so then next time you will do it more enthusiastically. So this like a then you will slowly by held up proper knowledge and actually following it, you will get that experience also. Yes, this is how it works, and you will find I'm getting that bliss also, following austerities and all that, and then chanting regularly. So this is how we should continue developing the knowledge. Okay, and continue the austerity. And Prabhupada said this is a minimum level austerities, and even otherwise also in practical sense also. When I say practical, in a material sense also, I'm saying. In material sense also, you can see following four-letter principle. Is it going to harm us in materially? No, in fact, it's going to benefit us. Even materially also. Forget about spiritually. Of course, we should not follow correlative principle for material because it is materially beneficial. That's not the purpose here. I'm just telling way how to see solve. There are various ways to beat our mind. That how we should corner the mind and continue our uh, bhakti, continue sadhana bhakti. So we should think material point of view also. Not drinking what wine is not going to harm us. Unnecessary waste of money, unnecessary waste of bodily disease will come. Non-veg is all waste, and it doesn't help you in body. In fact, its diseases are coming from non-veg only. Majority. You see in Google, type any disease, and doctors advise. So they'll say follow this, that, and then stop meat eating, reduce your meat eating, stop meat eating, stop drinking. 100%. You see this everywhere. You see the medical ad. You see on Google any disease you type, you will find at the bottom do's and don'ts, and doctors say better to avoid smoke, don't drink, reduce this is a common thing. You see any this everywhere it's like this. Even mental disease also. So anyway, so point here is we should understand austerities are very much part of our life, and even although we are bhakti yogis and we don't really are very with austere path, but austerities are mentioned and austerities are recommended for us, and it has to be followed. There are minimum level austerities. We are talking about minimum level austerities, following the austerity, the minimum level. Okay, so Dhruva Maharaj example tells us that we should do the austerity with a determination, because Narad Muni tried to test him. Are you ready to do the austerity? Are you really serious about it? Do you really mean you're a boy? Go and play, have some sports. So he said, no, I want to do this austerity. So much austerity, yes. He said, I want to follow that austere, just to. Of course, initially he was having the motto of Dhruva Maharaj was having motto of achieving something very highest in material life. But then slowly he got purified by meeting Narada Muni, and Narada blessed him, and he changed his that part also, and the purpose of austerity also got changed. Initially it was to achieve something, later on it was to achieve devotional life. And that's what the end of it. That's the end of Dhruva's story, that he achieved devotional service. And of course, he got whatever materially, that anyway, devotional service will give you whatever you need to be, whatever you deserve to be materially also. If at all you have got some desire, we should not be worried too much about it. But the fact here is, the Dhruva Maharaj story tells that austerities are very important and we should go. And another thing is basically, we should always push a mind, because although uh, I'm just trying to little bit get into more analytical details here, because that's what I have been hearing from many of our Prabhus and devotees. And so, yes, it is true that chanting is a topmost austerity, and it's not only austerity, chanting is everything. True. But austerity also we should follow, Prabhupada mentions here. That is also true. Now, modus operandi of this of austerities, mind will always tell you, okay, why so much austerity? Little bit reduce it and continue. Okay, anyway, no problem. You are chanting, you are reading. So, yeah, okay, keep the austerity not too much. But we should always try to push our mind at any moment, little bit away, little bit extra, 2 mile extra, 2 feet extra. That follow the austerity. Means mind will always tell you keep the austerity minimum. You'll say, no, no, I'll keep it little bit above what mind think. And always that is a way to push step by. Otherwise, austerity will not follow. Mind will keep diluting the thing and will not follow austerity and again fall down like chanting quality will reduce. The problem is not doing austerity may not be falling you down. The problem is making the austerity less diluted or not doing seriously will reduce the quality of chanting, and that is a danger. So austerities are something which is not to be undermined. Although we are bhakti yogi, and austerity is not a main thing, but austerity is important thing. And Prabhupada mentioned is we must follow this. There is no other way. So it is equally important, I will say. So we should, but then the thing is, we should always have that in pushing mode, mind pushing mode to continue austerities. Any point of time. This day, okay, I follow this much. Okay, then I will follow more, little bit more, little bit more. Mind will no push. So that push pull has to have for some time. The battle has to continue. Then you will be able to go a little bit up. So it's like a pull-ups, no? So in the gym, so they will initially this much, then next day only. Other if you keep pulling this much only on the same day, then no muscles will go. So that way also austerity will, you have to keep pushing yourself, your mind against this so-called mind, and then keep pushing more and more austerity, and you will find that all that, iron is becoming red hot, and chanting quality will, and then that's how it is. So, and more so, mind gets controlled and distracted, distraction will be minimum, I'll get purified, it's all there. So all are basically, everything is, I mean, there's no contradiction here. I mean, there's no, what you call conflicts here. You do this, do no austerity, you do more, you will be better, do better chanting. Better chanting, you will be able to do austerity more. No conflicts here. Lord is so, great that we have made this in such a way that we things are easier, if we want to follow the things. So this is what we should learn from Dhruva Maharaj story. So today, the 5-6 shlokas were all telling how severely he did the austerity, and it was really severe. We can understand that, but the takeaway from here is austerities must be done, and we need not venture like Dhruva Maharaj thing. That's not recommended by Prabhupada, and we cannot do also. Prabhupada has made it perfect formula, just follow, but that has to be followed perfectly, and try to follow it, increase it, and follow it maximum compliance. So we are then on the bhakti path, on the spiritual path, slowly will progress. So this is the sum and substance for today's what we could gather from Prabhupada's purport. Purport was only for one shloka, others were only shlokas, but then Prabhupada has clarified it very clearly. So I will stop here. So I think nothing beyond this to share from my side. So I think His Grace Uttam Damodar Prabhuji also is joined recent short while back. So maybe I'll request Prabhuji to add, correct, and then enlighten us further, and then we can get into question answers session. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I'm sorry I got a little delayed in joining, but no comments or anything from me, Prabhu. Please go ahead in case if there are any other question answers. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thanks for joining, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
So any question or comments we can discuss, and then later on we can close the session. Okay, so I think if there are no questions and comments, we will like to conclude, and thanks again all devotees for spending your time in the morning, which otherwise a busy schedule, and keep coming on this platform daily, and keep reading Srimad Bhagavatam, keep chanting, and thanks again. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we are closing the session. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We are closing the session.